What is up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with another quick video. This one, we're going to talk about the LGRP Grippers. These tires, straight out of the pack, are some of the softest tires I have ever pulled out of the pack. I mean, just super soft all the way around. One thing, like, even with, say, the pin tires, right here where the tread ends, you get that corner that's just a little bit stiff, especially with the stock foams that come with those. These, just nice and soft all the way around. I'm almost worried, like, are they going to be too soft? So we have a set here mounted up with the stock foams, and then we have a set here with some Flubber stuffers in there. Same wheels. I just wanted to show you the difference of just putting Flubbers in there. So you see the width of those. You know, everybody's wanting like super wide wheels and stuff, but a big part of the time you don't even have to worry about a wider wheel. It's just how you stuff that tire. So you can see the difference in height. Now you lose some height, but you gain that width, which, you know, is more contact area technically on the rock. Now I kind of like the look of a skinnier tire, just something about it. I like the look of it, but I think these will probably do a little better having more contact area. I mean, in theory, they should. You know, you're not even catching half of this tire technically with the way that sits. If you look at this gap, see that? See the gap on each side where that's not really touching? Now, I mean, I know it's going to give, and for the most part, you're going to be on there anyways, but if you take one of these and put it against something flat, like, see how that sits flat against it versus that. So that's where you can kind of see the contact area. We'll see how they perform, difference between stock foams and the Flubbers. Stock foams feel pretty dang good in here. This is not vented, and it is so squishy soft. Now, these are probably going to have some pretty soft sidewalls, it seems like, because the tire is just flat out soft. But, man, they feel good. And straight out of the pack, they are nice and sticky. And, you know, with the foam in there, they stick, but nothing crazy. Without the foam, you know, they're going to ball up. So that's usually just a sign of a good compound. You know, people are like, well, what's it matter once they're dirty? You know, they still kind of do it, right? See, and these have been in the dirt. I don't know if you can see the sand and stuff on there. May need more light, but these have been outdoors in the sand everywhere, and they're still pretty sticky. So, you know, that's just, they're still tacky. And so that's a good start, basically. You know you got a good tire compound if they're sticky like that. So we're gonna get these all the way installed and check them out, stock versus Flubbers. And I just wanted to show, like, these are some Injoras that I picked up a couple weeks ago. I like the look of them. I hadn't ran these, so I just thought I'm gonna grab a set. They were on Amazon, and they are so stiff feeling. Like, I just don't even think I'm gonna bother running these things because they just feel so stiff out of the pack. And I wish you guys could tell the difference, but I mean, I'm giving these about the same amount of pressure, and look at that. I mean, even if I give this LGRP less pressure, it's still, so huge difference there. Maybe we could change the foam in here. It may be more foam than anything, but the tires just feel kind of stiff, but we may experiment with those as well. But right now, really just wanted to check these out. I wanted to show the difference between just regular foam, stock foam, and the Flubbers. The height difference, the width, pretty crazy what just a foam will do. So, you know, you don't have to go buy all new wheels and get super wide wheels. You can just mount them up with some Flubbers. Maybe you got to buy the Flubbers. So one way or the other, you can go and buy something. But, you know, if you have the Flubber stuffers, which are going to really help with the performance anyways, probably going to widen it out. I don't even know what version these Flubber stuffers are. I get lost on them. I need to start writing on them when I get them. I bought some for these. Seems like they said the V3s were what went with these, but I don't know. There's so many different ones now, I'm just lost. If they somewhat look like they fit the tire, I throw them in. And I don't even pay attention to the width anymore, try to get them on a wheel, because they have a wide and a narrow, and these are more narrow wheels, honestly. And I was able to get them mounted up. It took a little bit to get the beads to catch, but they'll be fine. So I don't know what Flubbers. I'll check and see what they recommend for them, but these are what I'm running in there, whatever that is. All right, we're gonna test these, see how they go. Anyways, here they are. I wanted to show size difference. These have the Flubber stuffers in here. These are stock foams. We're gonna run them unvented, see how they do, then I'm gonna vent them because they feel really good even unvented. A little balloony, like balloonish feeling. I think you can probably tell they look kind of ballooned. So probably gonna be venting them fairly quick. I may not even put that in the video. If they run like horrible being unvented, I'll just go vent them. But here are these Injora Scramblers, almost the exact same size. You can see with the stock setup. These are still the foams that come in these. These did pretty good outdoors. I mean, really good outdoors, honestly, in the spot I was at, but they didn't do as great as I thought they would do on my indoor course. And then, like, here's the regular Scrambler, basically the exact same tire, pretty much same size. The Swamp Kings, almost same size, but these have the big, massive lugs, of course, so quite a bit wider. And these are just the stock foams that come with them. They are vented. I do have some Flubbers coming for those. Oh, and then the pin tires mounted up. These have Flubbers in them. Pretty close in size on those. Little bit wider, maybe with stock foam. And then when you put these things on Flubbers, you can see that's crazy. These do have Flubbers in them as well. So didn't really widen those out much. I even put those on the Mofo Island wheels, and it widened them a little bit, but because they kind of have this sharp edge that just ends right here, it really did nothing for them. So these would probably end up, well, actually I mounted these on instead of the Mofo with the Island spacers just to see how it compared to this, and it was the exact same width as this right here with just this wide Flubber in there. So either way, that's the exact same. Let's go run these, see how they do. You guys, let me know what you think. So here I'm running these tires unvented, just the way they come. They just like to spin a lot, which is pretty much what they did no matter what I did to them. But they just didn't do well. I didn't last very long with them unvented, and I just went to the bench and put some holes in them because they just were not working for me. But these tires just never felt connected to the rock or surface I was on. It just always felt like a lot of spinning. I don't want to say they're absolutely horrible because they will get the job done, but with a lot of work. For me, like, I had to try this stuff over and over and over to finally make some of these. When I can put another tire on it and just make this look easy, honestly, just like nothing. You know, obviously, most of the time I just bump this because it's easier to just bump it and go. But a lot of tires, you know, I don't struggle as much. There was just a constant struggle with these to get traction, and it shouldn't be like that. So I was pretty let down with these, honestly, and it didn't take me long to go vent them. All right, we're gonna go high. I'm really surprised at how bad a lot of these tires are on this plastic cloth. All right, let's try this hill right here because you guys know if you watch the channel a lot, it takes a good tire to get up this and low. Always wants to throw you to the left and off the course. Oh. Nah, I don't think we're gonna get it. We're gonna go to high. Of course it's gonna go up at high. So these things don't really like this plaster cloth, which not many tires do. The pin's probably the best on this. If you're running a lot of plaster cloth, I probably wouldn't recommend these too much. I'm gonna go vent these because this is kind of sad right now. They should be doing better. All right, let's try this again. They're vented now. Kind of felt like they should be doing better than what they were on this plaster. Now, this stuff is kind of hard to get traction on. It don't have a lot of grip. Nothing really but the pin tires have slow crawled this real consistently. Like I can almost always get it slow crawled with the pin tires. I have to work at it a little bit. You can see it always wants to get to that lip right there, but then just cannot make it over that. Right there. If you can make it over that. They just don't have that grip. The grippers are not gripping. All right, let's try to bounce it again. In low. All right, we're gonna try high gear. There we go. Right up it in high. So not bad. We know they can go downhill. Let's get down here and try this going up. Let's try it in low. Let off of it too soon there. I always have to catch it because it throws it to the left and it's gonna fall like 4 feet if it falls off of there. I don't think we're gonna get it in low. We'll just hit high, see what happens. Of course, we go right up it in high. You can see even in high, it took a little bit of work to get up this. And that was the case on everything I hit. Like, I just, if I didn't have this crazy amount of wheel speed with this truck, I wouldn't have made a lot of these climbs. Now this foam with the grout on it is probably where they did the best, in my opinion. They did pretty well on this, but it's kind of a high grip. You know, that grout is like a very rough texture, and they did pretty good on that. So if you're running a lot of that, they're probably not too bad. Outdoor, they just really kind of struggled for me. And, you know, that's a lot to do with the type of rock you're on. And so if you're running this kind of rock right here, basically, they're just okay. You know, the pin tires work way better on this than probably anything. The Scramblers are okay on it. Trail Warriors, pretty good on it. Swamp Kings, pretty good on it. But you can see these kind of just, I really had to gun it. And I tried to go up that as easy as possible just to see how they would do. But you really kind of have to gun them. And that was, you know, it took me a few attempts there. Now this stuff here again is what is the high grip. They seem to do really well on this. And, but I've had stock C10 tires go up this. So it doesn't take all that much of a tire to get grip on this stuff. It's very high grip, gritty filling. So, you know, I kind of expect them to do all right on that. and they did. All right, let's take this dude outside, see how it does. Let's try one last climb here. So you can see how soft they were when that sidewall was really given. See that? I feel like these are some tires that are really gonna need the flubbers, because you're gonna lose a lot. Look at that. So these lines that I run outdoors here, I tried and tried and tried over and over to get these. This doesn't look half bad, right? Like, I made that pretty easy. That was like the 7th or 8th time I've tried this line. I would run 3 or 4 battery packs through this. Now they're the small 180, 120 packs through this truck to get these lines with these tires in this setup. And then I could go put the pin tires on and run half a battery and get all the same lines. Like, that just tells me these things are not gripping like I want them to. Now on this dirt right here, this is the first time I tried this little climb. It had rained earlier, so there was a little more traction. As I loosened this up, it got harder and harder. By the end of the testing, I couldn't even make that without putting it in high, because it just got so loose. So they didn't do too bad right there. And, you know, I'm not basing their performance at all on what they did on this dirt. It's just really what they were doing on the rock. Even that right there, just getting on that rock, should not be that hard. My other tires just walk up that. And then right here, when I drop the front end down there, I should be able to hold that, and you can see that front end just wash out. It's just gone. And you can see the sidewall completely folded over. And that's why you need some flubbers or some sort of 3D printed foam, some ox, some crawler innovation, something that gives you some more side support, some tuning rods in there, the whatever they are. You know what I'm talking about. But you got to do something for the sidewall. But to me, the grip was just never really there. I never could get these to connect to the rock how I thought they should, or how others do. So now, all I'm saying is they don't work for me. Try them if you want to try them. If you think I'm full of crap, try them, whatever. If you've already bought them and they work for you, then I'm thrilled. Like, somebody's going to say, if you do this and you get your weight to this and you hold your mouth just right, these are the best tires ever. Cool. Like, I'm glad they work for you. They didn't work for me. Maybe I could do 10,000 combinations, or do this, or cut up star foam into something, I don't know. Like, but when I can throw a different tire on and just go, it's too easy for me. I'm not going to spend the time on it. I got way too many tires to test anyways. But you'll see here, these have the flubbers in them now, and they actually make this slow crawl. But now, once I ran these were 100% fresh. Once I ran these on the course, got them a little dusty, I never could get them to do it again. I couldn't really make any of these climbs on the plaster good at all, honestly. And I got really excited here because I thought I'd found the combo, you know. But it just wasn't really the case. They are much better sidewall that I'm pointing out here, and they're just flatter, so you're getting more contact area. So I do feel like this is the better setup for these tires, but for me, they still just didn't feel like they were grabbing. Kind of a heavy rig. Something I don't talk about a whole lot is a lot of these tires depends on the weight of your rig and how it's set up. This rig is like 500 grams probably. I'd have to check it. It's pretty heavy though, because I'm running 3 servos. You know, it's just, there's a lot going on there. So it's a little bit heavier of a rig. Not a ton of weight added, just the brass outer covers up front to get a little weight there. But the wider setup definitely gave us more contact area, which I think really made the difference right there on that climb. So I'm feeling a little better about these. Let's try this in low. I actually had a Patagonia went up this really well. The Patagonias seem to do well on the plaster cloth. These just don't quite want to go up this. All right, high gear it is. All right, let's try this natural rock over here. And then I just want to go back outside with these because they did okay with stock foams, but we were losing a lot of ground with how much those tires were folding. I gotta get back in low. Almost grabbed right there. Still not as good on this as the pins. I might have to give it a, wow. There we go. So I had to give it quite a bit. The pin tires go up that pretty slow. Like I don't even really have to bump it hard. So these things just felt like I was on ice. No matter what I did, I was just spinning. I had good wheel speed, so I was able to spin my way to the top usually, but they never felt planted, like they were really grabbing. Like I couldn't imagine running these on an FCX24 with worm gears and on 2S. I would never make half of these climbs just because it just sit there and spin and it wouldn't have the wheel speed to actually make it happen. They just did not grab. Slippers, not grippers. I'm telling you. You know, and I'll probably catch some hate because I'm being hard on these. It is what it is. I'm not here to push any of these companies. I don't care what tire you buy. It doesn't matter to me if you buy these, you buy RC4WD Drive, you buy Injora, you buy freaking Dora the Explorer. I don't care what brand tire you buy. None of these companies send me tires because they know I'm going to be hard on them. 95% of the stuff I get, I buy because people know I'm going to be truthful about it. So at this point, they don't want to send me stuff and waste their time and money and me cut it down. But it goes both ways. If they know it's really good, they'll send it to me and I'll put it out there, you know. But all I'm saying is these didn't work for me. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's sales. I don't care what anybody does. I'm all for more options. You guys hear me say it all the time. The more options we have, the better. So these may be the best tire ever to some people. It's all about what you're running and how you set up your truck and that sort of thing. So all I can speak on is my experience with them, and my experience was not good. So in the end, tires are cheap. Buy them and try them if you really want to. These are not the worst tire out there, I promise you that. They're just not my top 5, honestly, at this size. You know, at this larger size, I got to go with the pin tires, Swamp Kings, Trail Warriors, Scramblers, probably even Mudslingers. I need to revisit those Mudslingers. I haven't ran those in a good while. I'm going to mount up a set of those and maybe cut them, run them again, just to throw them in the mix. Because I know a lot of people really jumped on those as kind of one of the best first big tires we got. And I just haven't ran those in a while, so I'm probably going to do that. But you can't go wrong with it. You know, pick up a set, try them out. Maybe they're great for you. Like I said, I don't want to hurt anybody's sales or bash something that may work for somebody else. But speaking for myself, they just are not for me. You know, here, it is hard to get started on this rock. so I understand this spinning right here a little bit. But once this thing gets midways on this rock right here, it should just keep going. I don't know why they would just spin there and not grab and go. I think maybe cutting these may help. Like, they almost feel like they're too solid of a surface and there's no lugs really grabbing. Maybe, I don't know. Just something didn't work for me. So I put a couple lines in here with the pin tires. Even though this video is getting kind of long, I wanted to show how easy some of these lines were with these tires. Now this right here, I don't really get it clean. It kind of drifts to the left on me, which happens a lot when you're trying to slow crawl this. But it was the only attempt I made at this with these tires. I didn't have to try it over and over and over and finally make it. You know, with the grippers, I was constantly just struggling to try to make these. This right here, I'm in low gear. I don't even put it in high, and I'm able to make this second attempt. I promise you, that was two attempts at that. In low, same battery, and it just went right up it. I fought with the grippers. Watch this. What? What just happened? Are you kidding? Look at this. Oh, guess what? It held the line. The right tire stayed where I wanted it, hooked that rock, we walked it. This, I have to bump up this. It was getting very loose. I put it in high. I did spin and try that a lot. As soon as I hit the rock, though, watch this. Boom. Grabs, goes. I'm not sitting there fighting and fighting and fighting and getting aggravated. It's so easy with these tires. It's almost like cheating. Like, it blows your mind, and then you just hate everything else. And maybe that's part of my problem with these tires. Like, I'm a little bit spoiled at this point. Even right there, that's very hard. It was getting more and more loose. This is the last bit I ran, and it just walks up that. You know, I didn't go to the right when I should have. I had to back up, and then I went to the right, and it just goes right up it. I back up here and go up this a little kind of different just to show that they will do it. But, man, like, I actually enjoyed my crawling with these, whereas I was just getting flat out disgusted with the grippers. So that's a dead sign to me, like, don't run those tires. They're not for you. So real quick, I'm trying these on a couple different trucks. This truck is about 200 grams lighter than the other one I was testing with, so I wanted to see how they did on a lighter truck. But I wanted to mention these wheel nuts from Injora for the FCX24. These are really good for a deep socket wheel like that. You can actually run the mofos with these as well. There's some on Amazon that I bought. I don't know where they're at. They're like twice the length of this. Basically the exact same thing. But these work for general, most trucks. You can see how that fits on there really well. You guys know I've been running like a bushing down in there and then the wheel nut, but still the wheel nut doesn't want to go down in there very good. And you still sometimes barely get that thread on there and barely have enough room for your tool. This little tool here that I picked up a long time ago, I think maybe from Walmart, could have been Harbor Freight, I don't know, but it fits great. Goes down in there really well around these, and boom, perfect. Now the only thing I don't know is these don't have like a lock ring in them, so we'll have to see if they come loose at all, but they are a great fit, so we're gonna test these out. And we're gonna go try this thing on a lighter truck and see how it does now. So with these wheels and tires, this truck is a little heavier. I weighed it with the tires I had on it, and those wheels were much lighter than these. So with these wheels and tires on this truck, it's about 80 to 100 grams lighter than the other truck still. And I don't think without rear steer that we're gonna slow crawl this at all. So we made that. That was pretty good. Let's do this incline. Now this thing doesn't have low and high gear. This is FCX24 transmission with the overdrive, and then FCX axles. This is the best combo, in my opinion, you can get. Hybrid between both. You get the benefits of the FCX axles, you get the metal gears and stuff of the FCX24 transmission. It's super fast. It has really good low speed crawl. See that? Really good slow crawl. And then this thing has crazy wheel speed, no need for 2 speeds. You can see right there, this is on a 3S, but it launched right up that. Let's go run them outside, see if they do any better there. Let's get this slick rock over here real quick, just to see how it does. So I ended up cutting my time a little short with this setup because these tires just did not work on this truck. I think the heavier truck kind of helped what little grip there was to grab a little more maybe. With the lighter truck, they just were not doing anything. I mean, it was pretty sad how bad these were on this truck. And this is not a bad performing truck. With the proper tire, it does really well. So, you know, to me, these are a no-go. There's a lot of people on Facebook posting pictures of these. A lot of people haven't even ran them, and they, you know, but it's just a lot of, honestly, my advice for Facebook is don't believe half of what you see, because Facebook to me is the place where all these team drivers go to earn their freebies. You know, like post up daily about how their blue wheel nuts from Super Suave RC completely changed their ride. You know, like it's crazy how much promotional crap is on there now. So, you know, my best advice is the tires are cheap. Buy them if you want to try them. If you're dead set on the look and love them, try them out. I mean, you can't go wrong. They will get it done. They're just not even in my top 5 for me. So I won't be running them, but doesn't mean others won't have good luck with them. So you guys let me know what you think. I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. I tried to put a lot of work in on these tires to get a setup that would work, but they're just not working for me. So that's my conclusion in the end. Take it for what you want. Peace.